be the catalyst as long as it benefits you.
Fucking guy. He fucking did the Friday Night War. He did the First Dance. He's done the record Double or Nothing. He did the record All Out.
Okay, now after that extremely dramatic intro, this isn't a video about the scrum, the media scrum, after All Out. So just to let you guys know, it's not about that. If you haven't seen any of that or you want to hear more about that, then there's a video right here. Click on that. I'll wait for you. Watch that one first and then jump on over to this one. Watched it? Okay, good. Let's get into the downfall of CM Punk in AEW. Now, I know you tuned into this video thinking that I was just gonna shit all over CM Punk and drop a big ass turd in the name of CM Punk, but you may be disappointed. Actually, I mean, some of you may not be disappointed because the run was that shitty. Probably one of the most hyped things we've seen in professional wrestling in such a long time, something so long awaited. 7 years since he left WWE in the fashion that he left WWE, comes back. And literally, almost a year to the day after he debuts in AEW, he supposedly is now hurt for 6 to 8 months. Now, I'm hearing the injuries are legit, but I think it's a way to kind of fire him slowly, quietly on the side so nobody talks about it after 6 to 8 months of injury recovery. So let's talk about CM Punk. This is a man that showed up in AEW. It was rumored to him show up. Everybody knew it was going to happen. They waited till they were in Chicago to have him debut. He immediately gets into a feud with Darby Allin. Now, this, again, one of the most hyped debuts, returns in the history of professional wrestling. This thing was so hyped. So everybody was so excited when he showed up. It's kind of like in Game of Thrones where you finally found out Jon Snow was a Targaryen and they had that big reveal. And it kind of ended the same way where it was kind of shitty and he just ended up at the wall. And nothing came of it. And with CM Punk, he starts off for Darby Allin. He goes into another feud. Another feud has a feud with Team Taz that sucked. Had a feud with Eddie Kingston. Had a feud with MJF. Then wins the title against Hangman Adam Page. And that's where the problems start that we know of backstage. Then gets the injury, comes back, has that stupid match against Jon Moxley on Dynamite where he gets squashed because of the injury. Then they just run it back the next week and have him win at All Out, and then everything that ensued afterwards. Suspensions, fighting, biting, all that stuff. We know what happened. There's a tournament now for the AEW World title, and that's where we're at right now. But the run wasn't what we thought it was. Thought it was going to be a lot better. With all the hype, with all the fanfare, with all the diving into the crowd over and over again every time he came out. So many stuff that had to do with CM Punk. Now, would I ever call him a pillar? And first off, the pillar thing doesn't make sense to me. I mean, why only 4 pillars? I mean, buildings can have more than 4 pillars. I mean, if you've seen any old U.S. postal building, like the one in New York, that thing has like 8 pillars on it, 9, 10 pillars. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, is every building a square? That's why you're putting the pillars? I don't know. But I wouldn't call him a pillar. I mean, generally speaking, you only assumed he was only going to be in the company for a handful of years. Let's say 4 or 5 years tops. At the age he's at, with the injuries he suffered, the body breaking down on him, the personality itself, he wasn't going to last that long. And he didn't, obviously, but it's a lot shorter than we thought it was going to be. It's only a little bit over a year the man lasted in AEW before his shit hit the fan, and he's seemingly out the door. I mean, you've had things in the back of your refrigerator last longer than CM Punk's run in AEW. And how do we sum up this run in AEW? It was, started off with a bang, but really fell off a cliff, then kind of made a little bit of a comeback up, but then fell off a cliff again. Maybe self-inflicted at the end, but it fell off a cliff nonetheless. Was WWE right about this guy? Did they make the right choice by not even attempting to bring him back? Triple H was always right about him from the start. Is it him? Is it AEW? Who knows? But it didn't work. Now, can Tony Khan decide, you know what, I'm not going to fire him. 6 to 8 months down the road, he's going to come back into the fold, and we'll make a ton of money off him. It could happen. I doubt it. I think he's going to get booed from building to building, most likely. More problems are going to arise because I doubt when he's there, if he comes back, he's going to keep his mouth shut. He's just not the type of guy, right? So, honestly, what is going to come of it? Probably nothing good. So really the only best bet is to get rid of him, which I think they will. And thus the downfall of CM Punk in AEW. It didn't work. It wasn't working. It seemed like it was going to work. Halfway through, it didn't feel like it was working. It was just another guy on the roster. All the hype had left. People were still chanting CM Punk because it's fun to do. But he really wasn't much of anything else. He wins the title. Don't think he should have won the title. Should have been somebody else. But he won the title nonetheless. And then the injury, unfortunately, happens. Derails a ton of creative storylines that they had going on at the time. Then they kind of bring it back, rush it, do the nonsensical loss, have him win, and then all hell breaks loose. So CM Punk in AEW, if this is the end, which I think it is, yeah, it was a big letdown. It really was. It's like a show you've been watching for years. So excited to see it end, how it's going to finish, and then it kind of just shits the bed. Kind of like The Sopranos ending. So that's the downfall of CM Punk in AEW. He doesn't have a feud that memorable, other than maybe his MJF stuff with the dog collar match coming out in his Ring of Honor gear, with his Ring of Honor theme song, a big callback, nostalgia feel, yay, whoop-de-doo. Other than that, what else can you really call back on and say, wow, this CM Punk stuff is so great that they did in AEW? It's not a shot at him. It's a shot at creative in AEW. But honestly, what can you look back on other than that match saying that, wow, that thing was awesome? I honestly think they missed the boat on so many things when it came to CM Punk and AEW. I think maybe the hype was too much to live up to. And I just think if he didn't get shotgunned into the title picture immediately and win that strap like 3 weeks in, I don't think much was going to come from it afterwards. He didn't get feuds with Daniel Bryan. He didn't get feuds with Chris Jericho. There's a lot of guys on the roster he didn't get time to work with and have meaningful feuds, because none of his feuds really felt that meaningful other than the MJF one. And obviously post Hangman Adam Page, you know why that one was somewhat meaningful, because of what transpired afterwards in the aftermath of that. The man became AEW champion. Congrats to him, 2-time AEW champion, big accomplishment. I didn't think he was going to win it that quickly, because he didn't win the first couple weeks. I didn't think he was going to win it that quickly later on, but it didn't work out. And I don't think it ever will work out. Do we see CM Punk in wrestling again in ring capacity? Maybe he comes back to AEW in a commentary role. I mean, it's not like they don't have enough commentators on every single show. I mean, Rampage is a 4-man booth. Imagine that. And now they have a tournament to see who's going to crown the next AEW champion. My honest opinion, Daniel Bryan's the guy. He's going to bring balance kind of to the whole thing, to the whole show, to the whole company. I think that's the route they got to go. But that's the downfall of CM Punk in AEW. Started hot, flamed out midway through, got a little bit of a boost against MJF, and then flamed out again, and obviously in dramatic, epic fashion after All Out. Let me know in the comment section below, do you think he's gone for good? Do you think the injury going on right now, a 6 to 8 months injury, is legit? Or is just a way to get him fired and get him out of the company? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Catch you guys on the next one.